We start with our breath. Lightly closing your eyes, breathing in through your nose, sending that breath all the way down the body into the ground. Breathing in through the nose, sending that breath all the way down the body into the ground. And one more time, breathing in through the nose, sending that breath all the way down the body into the ground, connecting to your roots as your roots go all the way down to the core of the earth, and they attach and they grow around and they anchor to the core of the earth. And they breathe up from there. Allow those roots to breathe all the energy, all of those divine qualities up into your root system, into the trunk of your tree, and radiate out your divine self in the energy of joy and bliss, peace and grace and unconditional love, mercy and kindness. As you find yourself standing at the front door of your spiritual house, your sacred space, and you step inside, and that first floor really feels like thriving, that everything in here is grounded, is feeling safe and secure, and that you're beginning to attract. You're beginning to attract your future, the future of what you want to build, what you want to create. I am. Moving up to the second floor, your feelings, your beliefs, and clearing out all those past experiences, all those beliefs that weren't really meant for us anyway. And just feeling like your divine self, like your true self, your natural self. Experiencing creativity that you haven't experienced in a long time. Feeling like that God and Goddess within you is coming out. And you move up to the third floor, the warrior within you, the fire in the belly, that spark, that instinct, that I will align my will with divine's will for me. And my life will unfold beautifully right before my eyes. And we move up to the fourth floor. It's all about love. Where we love the physical self. We love the ego. We love the inner child. And our soul begins to be revealed. Our soul, even if it's just for a moment, a glimpse, comes into and begins to grow within us. And so now we move up to the fifth floor for today's practice. Up into the throat. This is the floor of communication, where we want to say what we mean, and we want to mean what we say. where we only want to speak as long as it doesn't cause harm to others. Where we take out words of gossip and we put in words of love and encouragement. I speak. Hum, 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 hum. So on this floor, we're going to begin to clean up. We're going to clean up all of those words, all of those stories we keep accessing, and we're going to let them go. We're going to let go of the negative self-talk. We're going to let go of all of those wounded words. We're going to let go of all of those stories. We're going to let go of all of that energy. And we're just going to sit with it, and we're going to get quiet. Because when we're always talking, we're not listening. And so one after the other, your story, you can tell it into a balloon one last time. You're going to tie that balloon and you're going to watch it float into space. One last time, tell that story, breathe all of that energy into the balloon, tie it up and let it go off into space. One more time, you're going to tell that story. You're going to breathe all that energy into a balloon and you're going to let it go off into space. All of those stories that you've been holding on to, just breathe them into a balloon. Tie it off and let it float into space. Once they begin to float away, they just disappear because they really mean nothing. We take what we know and we leave the rest. We take what belongs to us and we leave the rest. We blow into the balloon the energy of gossip. Blow it into the balloon, tie it, and let it go. We blow into the balloon the need to tell somebody when they're wrong. Just blow it into the balloon, tie it, and let it go. We blow into the balloon the energy of needing to over-explain ourselves. Saying the same words over and over and over again. Blow all that energy into a balloon. Tie it off and let it float away into space. We're going to blow into a balloon our stories of our health. one thing after another. Blow it into the balloon, tie it off, and let it go. Feel what it feels like to not be and have a diagnosis. Have all of your energy focus on something that's wrong. Why not focus on what is right? So breathe all those diagnoses in a balloon and let them float away. Breathe all of the criticism that's come your way. Breathe it into a balloon. Tie it off and let it float away. Breathe self-criticism into a balloon. Tie it off and let it float away. You just keep going through this practice one after the other. Breathe into a balloon the need to tell your stories from a place of brokenness. Just let all of that energy go. Breathe into a balloon all of the energy of wanting to create drama by gossiping. Just breathe that into a balloon, tie it off, and let it go. And from this moment on, we begin to use our voice for good. We begin to use our voice to lift others up, to lift ourselves up, to make the world a better place. We use our voice to uplift everyone around us. Use your voice for kindness, to spread words of love. Breathe into a balloon all of your love. Tie it off and let it float into space. Breathe into a balloon all of your grace. Tie it off and let it float into space. Next, breathe into a balloon your joy. Tie it off and let it float into space. Breathe into a balloon kindness and mercy, tie it off and let it float into space. And see how far that energy goes, and see if it stays close to you. Allow your throat to receive new energy. Breathing in through the nose. Exhaling one last breath into a balloon. Everything that's left over, just send it all, exhale it all into a balloon. Tie it off and let it go. You can't even hold it if you want to. Just let it float off into space. It doesn't even have a story attached to it. We are just willing to let go of everything, to fully and completely surrender. And feel the lightness in your throat, how the energy actually expands. How there's no more restriction in your voice, and how you may recognize you can hear a little bit differently. As you take this energy down to the 4th floor, down to the 3rd, down to the 2nd, down to the 1st, and out your sacred door. And you take this energy with you and you merge with your tree and you send all that energy down to the core of the earth and you anchor this in. And you breathe up from there. Breathe up from the core of the earth. Breathe up into the bottom of your feet, your ankles, your lower legs, your knees. Breathe up into your upper legs and your hips. Focus on your spine, breathing all the way up your spine, up to your shoulders, down your arms, out your hands. And then breathing all the way up and all the way back down. Breathing all the way up and radiating out. Breathing all the way back down and anchoring all of this energy in. And when you breathe up, you can even take your head back, tilt it back as you breathe up in that turtle breath, exhaling back down the chin to the chest as you breathe. Follow that energy all the way up and exhale it all the way back down. Just breathing. And getting quiet and listening to the divine's voice, listening to your soul, your spirit. Start to listen. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Have a beautiful week. Namaste.